Okay, thank you so much for joining us on the Camnet TV breakfast show this particular morning. I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. Now, getting into it, we do have Mr. Cosmas Chileshe. He is a member of the ruling United Party for National Development, and he is under the presidential support team system, and he is a media member as well of the UPND. Mr. Chileshe, good to see you and welcome.
Comrade, good morning, and good morning our viewers. It's always a pleasure to be on the breakfast show.
Okay, fantastic. Mr. Chileshe, we do have a custom here. Quickly, we'll get into what our newspapers are saying this particular morning so that you can just weigh in on some of the headlines that we have this morning before we get into our main discussion, which is the proposed constitutional amendments. Now, viewers, like you may be aware that yesterday, Minister of Justice, Honorable Princess Kasune, did unveil the roadmap of the proposed constitutional amendments. Quickly, on page 3 of the Daily Mail this particular morning, we have Kasune lays clear roadmap. Mr. Chileshe, that also sets the tone for our discussion. Your 2 cents?
Would like to commend Justice Minister Honorable Princess Kasune for demonstrating leadership, that now we have a clear roadmap. Let me take this opportunity, this being a Christian television. The Bible says, write the vision on the tablets that he may run, he who reads it. So we have read the clear roadmap, and as communications units of the party, and as well as with the government and other stakeholders, we have read the clear roadmap, and we are determined to run with this roadmap to ensure that once again Zambia will have this opportunity of being given a constitution that will stand a test of time, a constitution that will align to our changing environment, a constitution that will be relevant to the needs of the hour. So we commend government for demonstrating this leadership, and it also underscores to nullify the lies that particularly the opposition were making prior to government's publication of this roadmap. We had so many of fear-mongering, which I may just call daydreaming, that came from the opposition because of things they were insinuating that government would do, which we have not seen. They were saying that the government wants to extend the term of office to 7 years from 5 years, and that is why they were saying that they should oppose or stop these proposed amendments. We have not seen government doing that. They were saying that the UPND government wants to remove the clause to do with the running mate. That has not happened. They were lying to the nation that the government wants to remove the 50+1, for instance, threshold for winning of a presidential candidate. We have not seen that. There are so many things that were fed to the nation in setting a wrong agenda, but we have seen that the roadmap does not reflect those things, neither does the proposed amendments, which we'll deal with later on this program, does not reflect all those things that they said that government wanted to do. So the clear roadmap is something that we appreciate government for. Now we can have a meaningful engagement. So the process started yesterday, March 26th, with parliamentary debate, as the minister outlined the roadmap with the proposed amendment. So the process started yesterday, and the roadmap has shown the period under which various stakeholders now will be given an opportunity, so that we have an inclusive constitutional making process in this consensus building. I wish also at this time, comrade, to thank members of parliament that stayed in, particularly Honorable Mpundu. I was listening through radio I could hear commendation himself, as well as Christopher Kangombe and other MPs that are stayed in to welcome this proposed amendment. This is the leadership that we expect from Parliament, because members of Parliament primarily they have this constitutional mandate to make laws, to amend laws, so they cannot shy away from that responsibility. I say this because of some protest which I saw on social media later on from the Patriotic Front. I expected the Patriotic Front to show leadership as a party which had been in government before, first of all, as opposed to this cheap propaganda and setting of a wrong agenda to the good intentions that the government is doing. So we commend the government for now setting the tone with a clear roadmap, so that we can have a meaningful engagement as we look at the progressive pieces of legislation that the proposed amendment seeks to touch.
Okay. Mr. Chileshe, let's go to another daily tabloid and see. Okay. Pay for 40,000 kwacha, Debs, District Education Board Secretary, Debs, other officials selling teacher jobs. Government hails innovative diamond media. Immigration harass masked colonists, his tenants. Okay. Why was Chikote left out of the hook? Okay, let's go to another daily tabloid. Okay. Pali to get 90 more MPs and more nominated members if amendment bill goes through. Zambia faces rising corruption as bribery index hits 15.3%. Mother narrates how hubby impregnated daughter aged 14. Let's avoid provoking each other, HH tells church. Pali to get 90 more MPs. Now, this is a headline that is coming from the News Diggers.
That's right.
Mr. Chileshe, let's get into the proposed constitutional amendments in answering or addressing that particular headline.
Comrade, let me address this particular headline, and I wish to state on this platform that the media is the fourth estate. Our role is to ensure that we provide checks and balances to the three arms of government, as I've been playing the watchdog role. Now, one of the functions of media is agenda setting. So you get concerned by certain screaming newspaper headlines that wish to set a certain agenda in a very subtle way, which does not truly reflect the position which is on the ground, because of a certain slant that they would like to bring with a view to incite the readership and other stakeholders not to support the reforms that we have embarked on as government. Now, you may wish to know, sometime should be 2019, 2021, the Electoral Commission of Zambia had submitted a report to the PF government then, to President Lungu, with regards to the limitation of constituencies and other amendments to do with the Electoral Act. That was not acted upon. We have been faced with another challenge. I'm giving a background under which the newspaper headline is making that screaming to say that 90 MPs will be added with regards to this process, as well as the increase of nominated MPs. Now, what is the agenda? The issue is that the newspaper is preview to the contents of what ECZ submitted to the previous administration. Probably that report is saying that we need 90 more additional constituencies from the 156 we currently have. Okay? That is what is in that report.
Okay.
So, what is the issue now? We have a roadmap where by 22nd April, the Electoral Reform Committee is expected to submit this report to this government now. Now, whether they will start from the scratch or they will pick the already submitted report with any additional information that may be needed to add. So if they will pick, if the desk research will entail that they pick what is on the current report, that is where that screaming headline is coming from. Already it has proposed an additional of 90 more constituencies. It may not be the case. We may have less or we may even have more. So it would be interesting now to see the current electoral reform report of the recommendation it's going to give with regards to the more constituencies that should be added. Now, when we look at the issue of delimitation, this has an economic benefit. That is why the theme for this is having a fair and more equitable, more inclusive approach with regards to the reforms, so that the constitution now becomes a tool of development. Because with delimitation, you may wish to know that a number of districts were created by the previous administration, especially by late President Michael Sata. He introduced a number of districts in various parts of the country. Now, those districts, it's part of decentralization. They have not matched with the number of constituencies that they need to have. So you find that certain constituencies, they are so vast, such that from an economic point of view, it was explained in the parliament yesterday, where that region used to get 36.1 million. If there's a division of 2 or 3, depending on the geographical size, then we are talking of double or triple of the allocation which has been going on. What does that mean? You have now more money that will go to that particular region which was big with the division of these constituencies. Then more people will have access to more resources which have been given with regards to grants under CDF, because a certain portion has been given to do with grants. You have more skills training that will go to the youths within that particular region. So when we talk of the subject of delimitation with regards to having more constituencies, which will come by reason of this additional number of MPs that will represent those constituencies, that is another economic agenda with which the UPND seeks to develop our country in expanding on the policy of increased CDF allocation. So it has a lot of economic benefit. So that in itself is a non-contentious issue, such that when the constitution goes through, there is an economic benefit it's going to give, and it's going to align with the party manifesto of developing our economy. And primarily that is how these reforms have an economic impact on our country. So the issue of having additional nomination of MPs, yes, it has to align, as the minister indicated, that the percentage that you have, in this case we have 8, which translates to about 5.something% of nomination. So if we increase the number of constituencies, say by 100, so definitely the same quota will be used to match with the number of nominated MPs that the president should have. So it has to go in that kind of tandem. So we need to create clarity to some of these things, so that people do not misunderstand by misinformation that government has any ill intention. Otherwise, it is a progressive piece of legislation that we need to support, and encourage as various stakeholders will be making contributions. So that is one aspect with regards to that screaming headline.
Okay, I know that we are trading on borrowed time, Mr. Chileshe.
That's right.
And we'll be going in a few minutes. But just run us through the roadmap, the constitutional roadmap.
Yeah, so the roadmap, as the minister indicated in Parliament, yesterday the update was given, and the most immediate action that we are expecting is that of the Electoral Reform Committee submitting this report, which will deal with delimitation of these constituencies, and also to see how now more inclusion of women, youth, and differently abled people will have to participate in the governance system. And then by 20th May, it is expected that the Ministry of Justice will begin drafting the bill, because the period with which now the actual bill will be taken to Parliament has not yet started. What government has announced are these intentions, which have been contained in the proposed amendment. So from there, there's going to be publication of the bill, and then to then be introduced to Parliament, and then Parliament will have its own processes through the Select Committee that will deliberate through the various stages up to the time that it is expected to reach the third reading, which will be sometime in July. So between now, March is almost ending. We have April, May, and July. Within 90 days, we should be having a clear picture of the overall refined constitutional reform that we are going to have. So we would like to take this opportunity to appeal to various stakeholders, especially the opposition. Let them debate on merit over the progressive proposals that government has outlined. It's a transparent process, and there's nothing illegal that government is doing. It is within the mandate of the executive to introduce bills to Parliament, and the Parliament has a legal mandate as well to ensure that it amend and refine our constitution. So members of Parliament primarily were elected to undertake this task, so they should show leadership, and particularly my message goes to the Patriotic Front. As a party which had been in government, I think they should behave differently from other political parties who have not formed government. So we appeal to them to show leadership. But I want to congratulate those MPs that stayed in, and we appeal to many well-meaning members of Parliament to ensure that they exercise the responsibility with which they were voted, so that all these progressive amendment that the proposals contain go through for us to enhance on our governance system and ensure that we deliver on the economic mandate.
Okay, Mr. Chileshe, I know we need to go, but just kindly give us your last words.
Well, my last word is that we appeal to all stakeholders that let's give various stakeholders that will participate the necessary support. We cannot now talk about things which do not exist. The government has made its intention well known, and each of the proposals should be dealt with on merit. There are critical issues that also affect the participation of our election, issues to do with the 14 days petition that needs to be revisited. This will be in the interest of all the stakeholders to ensure that this aspect is dealt with, so that at the end of the process we'll have a process that will have reflected the wish of all the Zambians. So now that government has shown leadership, we can follow through the process and give the necessary government units the support in this reform process.
Okay. Mr. Chileshe, let me thank you more sincerely for coming through.
Thank you.
A brief interview, but I'm sure our stakeholders out there and our viewers have learned one or two things. The constitutional, the proposed constitutional amendments, the roadmap, and of course some of the issues that you have clarified. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so viewers, there you have it. That was Mr. Cosmas Chileshe. He is the UPND media team member, and also he is part of the presidential support system team. I've been your host, Tapelo. Joe Smarter is my name, on behalf of my director and the entire production team. We'll see you when you see us. Good morning.